Howdy y'all, today is March 19th, 2022, and this is the last day of winter. Tomorrow is officially spring, so that's nice that we are done with that. Even though we're not done with the cold days, at least we know warmer days are coming up. So it's been a pretty lazy Saturday here, not much going on. It's raining, it's about 42 degrees, so it's not a great day to be doing a lot of work on the coop. So I don't have too much going on. I'm just gonna do some food and water. And then today I also brought a little bit of oyster shells out. So I'm sure the chickens will love this. So I'm going to start mixing that in with their food. So it kind of looks similar to grit, but it's not. So oyster shells, these are just give a little extra calcium in the diet. So basically once the hens start laying eggs, you'll have nice hard shells just because you do have the added boost of calcium. This gets absorbed in the chicken's gut, where grit is more like just a rock that goes into the gizzard and helps grind up food. So they're both used a little differently. So this is safe to add to the chicken's food. Grit, you always want to keep separate because it's just not food. So yeah, I'm gonna mix this in with some of their food today, and that's about it. So here's the side-by-side difference between the oyster shells on the left and the grit on the right. So the grit is just a rock. Big Bird had to go in there and take some. So these little pebbles here, that helps the chicken grind up their food in their gizzard. So like if they have grass or something, bugs, the rocks will kind of go in there and help grind up their food so they can digest it. And then the calcium over here is Big Bird again. So it's just supplemental calcium for when the hens start laying. It'll give them nice hard shells, make sure that they aren't deficient in that, and they're already eating it up. So I'm gonna add some of this to the food, and then the grit's always gonna stay separate. Well, it looks like that board up top there is already warping on the right one. I should have put that trim on the other day. So I should do that sooner rather than later. And then I still need to get another coat on. At least the other box still looks fine for now, but you definitely see a little bend in that one starting. Good morning, everyone. Today is March 20th, and we are 3 minutes away until the official start of spring. So far this morning, got these little trim boards on, put a little bit of glue, pin nailer, so that should help with the warping. And then the other thing we're gonna get done is move all this wood. My brother was gonna come get it, but still hasn't yet, so my dad's gonna load it up and take it back. So we're gonna play around doing that, have a little fire and burn a bunch of junk just hanging out, and enjoy this beautiful day. But still pretty muddy out here, so that's the only downside. But other than that, things are good, and gonna let the chickens out. table did not hold up well with the water, so when it was wet, the paint just slid right off. So I'm gonna have to take a sander to this and actually rough the wood up a little bit, and then I'll repaint it before it rains again. I think rain's coming Wednesday, so I'll get it done before then. Alright guys, the little latches are on the boxes now. My table still looks messed up. I'll get that tomorrow. We got the wood pile all gone from the side of the coop, which is fantastic. It's been sitting there all winter. Chickens are good. Let me check on this fire. And it looks like this is burning down pretty well. So we got quite a bit burned up today, but it's nice my dad came and got all that wood. Still a little bit left to grab. But yeah, gorgeous day. Tomorrow's gonna be even nicer. So looking forward to getting the nesting boxes completely done with the second coat, and then cutting it out so they can go in. All right, y'all, March 21st, and it is second day on getting these boxes painted. So I'm gonna do the second and final coat and they'll be good. So chickens are already out and enjoying running around. There they are, you can see them a little better. So it's a beautiful day. So gonna get this done and knocked out, and then they're done. Well, I completely forgot to get a sander. My dad has a nice one that I was planning on using, and I was gonna buff all this out and then repaint it, but I'm kind of running low on time, so I think I'm just going to kind of brush it off and repaint it. It's going to be raining for the next 3 or 4 days. My kids have a concert tonight, so I was going to go listen to them. So I'm not too worried about this table. There's really only that one spot that we kind of beat up the other day, so I'm just gonna paint it again and call it a day. It's just a work table after all. I'll get around to actually sanding it and painting it again another day, but until then, I'm not worried about it. Second coat is done on everything, and then there's the latches. I don't know if I showed you guys, but just kind of pop them up there. Got 2, so that way in case a raccoon were to climb up here and try and lift this up, it's not gonna happen. So yeah, that's basically it. Chickens are enjoying the sunshine. Alright guys, it's March 23rd and the rain just let up a little bit, so still pretty swampy out here. It looks like my table held up pretty well. It's not wet, so it sticks a little better right now, which is great. As you can see, the chicken coop all around it is pretty wet. Let me set this down and grab their water here. We'll go see how they're doing. Doesn't look too bad. This was the little thing I was talking about last week that failed me and didn't close the latch that let all the chickens out on me. And I still have yet to replace it. But until then, see how you guys are doing. A little damp in the corner, they always like digging out. But everything else looks completely fine. I think having those straw bales down helps kind of soak some stuff up too. But I've also just been bedding it so much that I think it's high enough and deep enough that water's really not going to mess with it anymore at this point, so that's good. Let's see, I'm gonna get them some more food and water. You can see on these feeders why I'm not a huge fan of them. They kind of like piling up like this, so it's still full of food, but the bottom here isn't quite full, so you got to give it a little shake and it comes down. I'm contemplating kind of cutting these out a little bit so the pellets fall down a little better. Same thing with this one. The one I have calcium mixed in. So those are the only downsides to these feeders. This water, yeah, it looks like they're still doing plenty fine on that. It's been a couple days, so all in all, the chickens are doing good. Good morning, y'all. It is Saturday, March 23rd, and it's pretty chilly out today. It is currently 34 degrees, but it feels like 25, so not as nice as the weather we had this past week, but you know, it's spring, it happens, and it doesn't feel like the cold of winter. It feels like the cold more of spring. You can kind of smell spring in the air. The grass is greening up. Things are really starting to look nice outside, so we don't have too many of these colder days left, but the next few days are going to be below freezing at night, so I'm just going to bed the chickens down, probably go ahead and plug in their water. The coop, now that I've cut out a lot more holes, doesn't hold as much heat as it used to, but it's still not too bad in here. And also this, we'll call it a bedding pack, is really generating some heat too, which is helping to keep the chickens warm without a heat lamp or anything like that. Plus they're old enough, they really don't need it, and 30s aren't so bad for them. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get them done for today, and then yeah, I'm going to see you guys next week.